Okay, it's noon. Let's get started. All right, thanks for joining the live stream today. The topic of this live stream is going to be 12 video games that I'm excited for in 2020. These are games that have either been announced to be released and have a firm release date, or they are games that, for whatever reason, it's rumored they're coming out in 2020, or at least the companies themselves have said they're coming out in 2020, but there's no official release date yet. So I'm going to talk about the 12 games that I'm excited for the remainder of this year. Hopefully you learn some stuff, get excited about some games that are coming up as well. So let's get to it. First up, we have the Mafia Trilogy Remastered. This Remastered looks amazing. The problem is there's really not a lot of information about this game yet. It's rumored to be coming out in 2020. It's rumored that it's coming out as a package, but there's also some rumors saying that it's going to come out as individual releases, Mafia 1, then Mafia 2, then Mafia 3. Although if they did that, I'm not sure why they would do a Mafia 3 re-release, since it's already a current gen game anyway. But either way, there's going to be an announcement May 19th from the company. They said they're going to announce something new on May 19th. So we'll see what actually happens with that announcement. We'll see what they say. This is supposed to come out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and PC. So again, this is all still rumored. We're not quite sure what's going to happen with the announcement on May 19th. But I'm assuming that this is going to come out in 2020. I haven't played Mafia 1 in a really long time. That came out in the PlayStation 2 era, and I don't really remember much of the game. But Mafia 2 is one of my favorite games ever. That came out on the PS3, and I just recently played through that game again, and it is stunning. It's amazing. It's an open world game, but it's also pretty linear. It's kind of a unique way to make a video game. And one that you don't see very often. The storyline is fantastic. It really makes you feel like you are in the Mafia. And Mafia 3 is a relatively new game as well. It's a current gen game, but it's really good. A lot of people gave it some pretty bad reviews when it first came out. The gameplay can get a bit repetitive if you try to do everything, if you try to clear up the whole map and do all of the missions and stuff. It can get a bit repetitive. The game loop on that game is a bit repetitive. But it does a great job of making you feel like you're in the time period in which it's set. The music in Mafia 3 is fantastic, and some of the stealth gameplay, some of the best stealth gameplay I've ever seen in a video game. I love it. It's great. I'm definitely going to be picking up this pack if it comes out as a trilogy pack together on one disc. I'll definitely pick it up. If it comes out in individual releases, I'll probably only pick up Mafia 1 Remastered, just because I haven't played that game very much, and I already own Mafia 3 and Mafia 2. A bit about the storyline for these games. Mafia 1 is set in the 1930s, and you play as a Depression-era gangster in like a big, New York-style city. Mafia 2 takes place in the 40s and 50s. You play as a war veteran coming back from World War II, and you get embroiled into the local crime syndicate there and start working your way through the ranks. And then in Mafia 3, my favorite in terms of storyline, you play as a half-black, half-white veteran from the Vietnam War who's coming back to a New Orleans style city, and you are fighting against a crime syndicate that has kind of double-crossed you and killed some people that are very close to you. And so you're trying to take over all of their properties, all of their territory in this New Orleans style game or style city. And the best part about that is that there are tons of little details that make you really feel the racial tension that's going on during the segregated South, during the Jim Crow era United States. And I love games that make you really feel like you're experiencing history. And that game definitely does it. And the music is fantastic. Late Jim Crow era, early what do we call it? The civil rights era. But yeah, the music is fantastic. There are a bunch of different radio stations in the game, and they're all, there's a classic rock, or not really classic rock, but a rock station. There's a pop station, and it's all authentic music from that time frame, and they're fantastic. So I'm excited about this remaster, and just talking about it makes me want to go back and play Mafia 3 again, because I have it. So I don't know, maybe I will. So Mafia 3 is, like I said, it's coming out PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And there's an announcement on May 19th, but there's really no details so far as to when it actually will release. So we'll see. All right, next up in the 11th place spot is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. This was a surprise for me. I hadn't heard anything about this until last week. And then they just it was just a surprise announcement. Hey, there's a new Tony Hawk Pro Skater remaster coming out, and it's both of the first games coming out in the same package on one disc. They're all remastered, ground up, full, complete remasters for all the levels. All the original characters are returning from the first two games. And the one thing they said was that they couldn't get all of the music. So there are some tracks that are going to be missing, but they did say that most of the ones that you remember from the first two games, they're going to be there. So all the music you remember for the most part is going to be there. So this is a pure nostalgia buy. If you are excited, or if you played these games when you were younger and you want to feel that nostalgia again, this is a good thing to pick up. Plus, the games are super fun. I love the Tony Hawk series. I played every game in the series. They kind of dipped in quality toward the end there. But the first two were fantastic. I mean, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, they're responsible for creating the phenomenon that was Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. I mean, one was so successful. I mean, the idea of taking a skateboarding game and turning it into like an arcade, over-the-top, crazy physics-style game was just unheard of and amazing. So I'm excited for this. I can't wait to buy it. It's coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, and the release is September 4th, which is also the same date as another game on the list here. So you're going to have to decide which one you want to buy. But this is going to be a good pickup. Maybe wait until it's, on sale to pick it up if it's not something you're super excited about, but it'll be good to have in your game library. All right. Now, at number 12, Paper Mario Origami King. This is another game that I wasn't really kind of following, and then it just kind of announced. I was not expecting a new Paper Mario game for the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo rarely does exactly what you want them to do, and I've wanted a new Paper Mario game for a long time. We had Sticker Star on the 3DS, which was fantastic. We had Thousand Year Door, which was one of my favorite games ever. I played hundreds of hours of Super Mario RPG, hundreds of hours of Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64. Like, I love Paper Mario games. And with this game, it looks like they are, just like they do with every iteration of the game, they're playing around with the art style. So the stickery kind of cardboardish style art for the main characters is going to return, but the bad guys look like they're all folded in origami shapes, which is really cool. It's going to make for a really fun, bright, visual, engrossing type style of game, and I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to get my kids obsessed with some Paper Mario, because they haven't really, as far as I know, they haven't really been alive when a big Paper Mario release came out. And, my daughter especially, she's right at that age where she's going to love Paper Mario. It's cute, it's fun, and I think she's going to be kind of obsessed with this game when it comes out. So I know I'm going to play, a lot of it. I know it's going to be hard to pull myself away from this game because I'm already super excited. So this is a definite buy for me, and I'm very excited for this game when it comes out. So this is coming out July 17th, so it's coming up pretty soon, and it's only releasing on the Nintendo Switch, obviously. So get excited, go out and buy it if you like Paper Mario games. All right, number 9. This game, Windbound. Now, this game is on the list purely because it reminds me of another game, which is one of my favorites. So the reason why I'm excited for this game is it gives me very distinct Breath of the Wild vibes, right? It looks like to me it's a mixture between Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And until Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, which who knows when that's going to happen, probably in 2022, maybe? I don't know. But until Breath of the Wild comes out, this is probably the closest we're going to get to something that feels like it feels to play Breath of the Wild. So this is an exploration and survival game. Essentially, you play as this character who gets stranded on a deserted island, and you have to survive. You have to build shelters. You have to make fire. You have to hunt animals and all that stuff to try to keep yourself alive. But there's also a boat crafting mechanic in the game as well, where you can sail from island to island using a boat that you built yourself, which sounds pretty cool. It looks like a very lonely and desolate game, but it looks bright and colorful. So it looks like there's a lot to keep you interested. The combat looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited about it. It looks like it's going to be a surprise hit. I'm probably going to sink a little bit of time into this game. I'm pretty excited about it. If you're jonesing for Breath of the Wild 2, like I am, this might be the next best thing. So it's coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and the Switch, and it's coming out August 28th. So, coming up pretty soon. So we'll see what it looks like. All right, and number 8. Destroy All Humans. This is a remake, a full ground-up remaster of Destroy All Humans. I'm very excited for this game. I played Destroy All Humans when I was a kid, and I was engrossed completely in the storyline, in the gameplay. It was phenomenally fun to run around as an alien, abducting cows and abducting humans, and blasting people with your ray gun. Again, this falls into the category of I did not expect them to release a remaster of this game at all, ever. And then they just announced, hey, we're going to put out a brand new Destroy All Humans game. It's going to be a full ground-up remaster of the first game. That's amazing. That's great news, because there aren't a lot of campy, fun, just out there video games anymore. It used to be, especially in the PlayStation 1 era, there were tons of games that were just ridiculous concepts, and they were just insane amounts of fun. Now, a lot of games, especially games on this list, by the way, so don't get me wrong. I mean, I love games with a serious storyline, but now it seems like the focus tends to be more on, really serious, really somber, really narrative-driven style games, and those are, like I said, those are great. There's a ton of those on this list, but sometimes it's fun just to be a 3.5-foot alien who's shooting generals and with a ray gun. It's going to be cool. I'm excited for it. I'm definitely going to pick this up when it comes out. Hopefully you get excited as well. So this is coming out in July, so July 28th, so pretty soon. I'm excited for it. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. All right. Now, number 7, Watchdogs Legion. Here's the thing about Watchdogs Legion. It's on this list, and it's roughly about halfway through. It would be up a little higher if there was a more definitive release date for this game. We just don't know. It was supposed to come out earlier this year. It got pushed back indefinitely. We're not quite sure when this game is going to release officially. So it's a little bit lower on the list. There are a lot of rumors flying around about this game. One rumor is that it's not coming out at all, that they've completely scrapped the game. I'm worried for that. I definitely want to play this game. I love the Watchdogs series. The first one was pretty good. It introduced you to a new way of playing these open world Grand Theft Auto style games, giving you the hacking element as a way to, kind of make the gameplay fun and fresh. So the first one kind of introduced you to the concept, but the second one, in my opinion, completely blew the first one out of the water. The storyline was fun. It was bright. It was chipper. There were, you were doing ridiculous and cool things. I love the second game. So this game, it looks like it's going to be even more ridiculous and over the top. It's set in London, and the interesting mechanic with this game is not only do you have the hacking and all the infiltration skills, and you can create, little drones that follow you around, but you can also play as any member of the DedSec hacking community. And there are tons of members, like this old lady right here. You can play as an old lady, a lethal old lady who's going around, murdering people. It looks awesome. And as one character dies, they get permadeath. So one character dies, they die completely. You don't ever get to play as them again. You can swap back and forth from one member of the gang to another. It sounds like a really cool concept, and I really want to see how they're going to pull it off. And Ubisoft is great at open world games. They're king of open world games. I want to see how they can pull this off, and I'm really excited to see it when it comes out. Again, we don't have a definite release date for this game yet, which is why it's so low on the list. I hope that they pull something together and we get it by the end of the year. If not, I'll be pretty disappointed. I'm just, I'm really excited to play this game. So we'll see what happens. So again, it's supposed to be releasing on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, and the release is just 2020. There's no updated new information on when it's actually officially going to come out. So we'll see. All right. Number 6 on the list, Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. I love Lego Star Wars games. And this game is one we've been waiting for, or I've been waiting for a really long time. This is all 9 Star Wars movies in the main saga, in the Skywalker Saga. All 9 Star Wars movies in the Skywalker Saga in one game. So every movie, every cool set piece, every fun moment, all of them in this one game. And the Lego Star Wars, the Lego style of gameplay is one that's really fun. There's no better feeling than, destroying a bunch of Lego bricks and having the studs just kind of like fly everywhere, and then you run around picking them up. The sound effects are satisfying. The gameplay is satisfying. There's supposed to be over 500 characters in this game, and most of them are playable. That's ridiculous. And if you've played any of the Lego games before, not just Lego Star Wars, but Lego Avengers, Lego, Batman, you'll know that there are tons of playable characters in those games, and sometimes they get crazy. Like in the Lego Star Wars, the original, you could play as, or Lego Star Wars 2, I believe, you could play as the Gonk droid, the droid that looks like a trash can. Like, how cool is that, right? He doesn't really do anything, but it's cool that they made that. They allowed you to play as that character. So, I don't know. It's going to be cool. I'm excited for it. I'm really jazzed to play another Lego game. It's been a while since I've played one. So I'm excited. I'm going to definitely dump so much time into this, and I'm going to try to be, this is one of the games I'm going to try to get like 100%. I'm going to do everything, get all the studs, get all the golden bricks, or whatever mechanic they're using for this time. So I'm excited. I can't wait. Plus, it's co-op, so me and my kids, we can play together, burning through the levels and collecting stuff. So again, what's not to love here? So Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, coming out on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and the Nintendo Switch. And there's no definitive release date for this. The rumor is it's going to be October 20th of 2020. So we'll see. Maybe my wife might be getting this for her birthday. I don't know. So we'll see. I think they're waiting to find out when Assassin's Creed Valhalla comes out, because if they set their release date for the same day, they know they're going to kind of get crushed. So I don't know. I think they're waiting for other big name titles to kind of definitively put out their release dates. So we'll see what happens. All right. And number 5, Ghost of Susima. So, okay, here's the deal with this game. I originally wasn't going to put this game on the list. I wasn't going to buy this game. I was like, it looks like another Dark Souls style, like dodge and, attack kind of game, which is fine. I'm fine with those kinds of games. Those are fun. But a couple of details made me rethink my choice on this. One is that this game is developed by Sucker Punch Studios, which is at the helm of one of my favorite series of all time, Infamous. I'm actually replaying Infamous Second Son right now. It's super fun. So Sucker Punch Studios is developing this game. So yeah, that got me interested. But then also the detail that there are multiple ways to approach this game. So the gameplay footage here, this is the samurai gameplay, which to me looks more like Dark Souls style combat, right? You wait and you parry and you blah, which is cool, but the samurai is like an honorable, straightforward warrior. And that looks fine. But there's also another way to play the game as the Ghost, which is more of like a ninja, assassin, stealthy kind of character. They're less honorable. You use, you sneak through the shadows, and you use, like little traps to distract your enemy, and that appeals to me much more. So I'm pretty excited about that idea. Being able to sneak around and be kind of like a ninja-ish character in this samurai game looks pretty good. There's some gameplay footage out there of someone playing as a Ghost-style character, and it looks amazing. To me, it feels most like Assassin's Creed, and this feels like the closest we're going to get to an Assassin's Creed samurai-style game. So yeah, I'm excited. It's set during a real time in history, during the Mongol hordes invading Japan. Cool. I'm fine with that. Sounds good to me. So here's some Ghost gameplay. But I am all for games set in history and games that let me sneak around and do sneaky stuff. And this game gives me both, and it's developed by a good studio. So I've changed my mind on this. I'm actually excited for the game. So we will see how good it ends up being when it releases in July. So July 17th, this game is coming out. It is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. So if you don't have a PS4, go back to not being excited about this game. All right, number 4, Marvel's Avengers. Now, I have been excited about this game ever since they announced it a couple of years ago. I've been excited about it for a number of reasons. One, obviously, because it's Avengers, duh. 2, also because it's developed by Square Enix, which is an amazing developer. They have a long track record of great games. And 3, the talent they've pulled together for this game is phenomenal. You've got Nolan North and Troy Baker both working in this game. Now, these are obviously the Marvel Avengers characters you're used to, but they're not the characters from the Marvel MCU, right? So it's not going to be the Tony Stark from the MCU. It's not going to be the Captain America, the Steve Rogers from the MCU. These are different characters in a different new storyline, right? And so this game takes place, or at least the footage they've released so far, takes place in San Francisco, and San Francisco is dedicating the Avengers Day, because they've done something awesome or whatever. And during that Avengers Day, someone attacks some terrorist organization or whatever attacks the Golden Gate Bridge. And so you have to fight your way through the Golden Gate Bridge, killing all these terrorists and, playing as the different Avengers. So what's really cool is they've announced, or it looks like there are 6 playable characters in this game. You have Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, and Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. So it looks like in the first little piece of this, the tutorial area, you play as the 5 Avengers. Now, Hawkeye has not been announced yet. We'll see if he gets some love later on. But so you play as the 5, and in this entry level sequence, it looks like you're playing through each different character and checking out their different play styles and whatever. But then at the end of the tutorial level, Captain America dies, I guess, right? And the Avengers break up, and it flashes forward to 5 years later, and you take over as Miss Marvel, who is a Avengers fan. She's an Avengers fan, and you have to try to bring the Avengers back together to fight some unknown, crazy, awesome threat. So again, it's a new storyline, new characters. They're not going to sound the same as you're used to them sounding. Tony Stark does not sound like Tony Stark. He's voiced by Nolan North, so he sounds like, Nathan Drake from the Uncharted series, which I'm fine with. He's a great voice actor. Bruce Banner doesn't sound like Mark Ruffalo. He sounds like, Joel from The Last of Us, because he's voiced by, Troy Baker. But again, they're great voice actors, and I'm fine with that. The character models don't look the way you're used to them looking. And again, I'm fine with that. That's okay. This is a new story. So once you get over the initial, this isn't the Iron Man that I know and love, you'll grow to love him. Just by watching the footage that I've been watching of this game, I've actually started to like this Iron Man character a ton. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait. This was supposed to come out this week. I think today it was supposed to come out, but I got pushed back. The release is September 4th, which is the same day as another game that was on this list. Which was it? I can't remember. Anyway, so September 4th, this game comes out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. I'm very excited for it. I cannot wait to pick it up and fly around as Iron Man and, beat dudes up as the Hulk. So it's going to be a good time. All right, and number 3, this is The Last of Us Part 2. Now, some of you have seen probably the leaks that have come out about the story. Some of you have probably read those leaks and are no longer excited about this game. I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. I'm not going to spoil the game here. I'm not going to tell you what's in the leaks, but I read the leaks, and I'm actually more excited for the game after reading the storyline leaks. The things that they're trying to do with this game from a narrative standpoint are exciting to me. I'm very excited to see what they end up doing with this game, especially with some of the plotline details that they've already released. I want this game to be brutal. I want characters that I've loved from the first game to, have some bad stuff happen to them. That's the whole point of this game, is for it to be very viscerally, just gut-wrenchingly horrible. There are moments in the first game where even after playing it like 7 or 8 times that I've played it, I still cry every time I get to those moments in the game. There are truly shocking and gruesome and gory and terrible moments in that first game. And the second game needs to take that same idea and up it, bring it to another level. And so I'm excited for the story direction they're taking this game. I'm excited to see what they do with it. Now, one of the great things about this is that they didn't just take The Last of Us 1 and say, all right, we're going to take the gameplay, keep it the same, and just put a new story on top of it. They're actually redeveloping all of the gameplay elements. So the combat is, the animations in the combat are some of the most insanely realistic animations I've ever seen in a video game. There are moments where, as I'm watching some of this footage, I have to pause it and go, wait a second, did she just really just dodge the arrow like that? Like, it's insane. It's going to blow you away. I'm very excited for this game. This is a definite must-buy. The Last of Us Part 1 was one of my favorite games of all time. I am definitely excited for this game. I will pick it up when it comes out. I can't say enough good things about it. And if you're scared off by weirdos on the internet telling you don't buy the game, it looks stupid, don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. So this game is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. It is coming out June 19th. So we'll see. Again, I'm very excited for it, and I'm definitely picking it up on day one. All right, and the number 2 spot is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Okay, so Assassin's Creed is one of my favorite series of all time. Every Assassin's Creed game that comes out, I absorb it immediately into my bloodstream. I have to play every game. When this trailer came out, I probably watched it 5 times that day. I showed my son the trailer like 3 times that day. He got super annoyed with me watching it over and over again. I am excited for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Here's the thing, okay? I'm getting excited. Okay, you play as a Viking warrior in the 800s, and you are raiding the British Isles and trying to take over territory and whatnot. I've never heard a better, more cool setting for a video game in my life, okay? And on top of that, you get your own settlement that you have to upgrade and improve as you go through the game. So you have a home base that you can come back to, which is a mechanic that Assassin's Creed has done before. They've done it in the past. In Assassin's Creed 2, you could do that. And they kind of got rid of that. But I loved it. I love having a home base that I can improve and develop. And in this game, they allow you to do so. Now, you play as Ivor, and you can play as either a male or female Ivor character. I guess the name Ivor is gender neutral in, Viking. So you can play as a male or female Ivor. You get a hawk or a raven companion that you can use to scout out the terrain, much like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Far Cry Primal. So you get your hawk that you can send out, and you can scan the territory, and Assassin's Creed Origins as well. You can set out your hawk, and they, or your raven, and they can scout the territory and find people to kill. The cool thing about this game too is that there is I think it's called raid mode or whatever, where there are certain villages where whenever you want to take over the village, you have to raid the village and like burn it down and whatever. Like, that's going to be cool. I'm super excited. You can dual wield any weapon in the game, so dual axes, wah, 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 wah. Or a shield and an axe, or a shield and a sword, or 2 shields, or whatever you want. So that's going to be really cool. I'm excited for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm excited to see where they take the story. I want them to do more with the modern day. I want them to develop the modern day story a little bit. For those of you who don't know, Assassin's Creed is 2 stories going on simultaneously. So each game is set in a historical time period, and you play as a person in that time period on making the events unfold. But there's another story on top of that set in the modern day. And you are a person who's inside of a machine that's letting you relive the memories of a person from history, right? I guess that's the best way to describe it. So there's 2 stories going on for each game. There's the contained story going on in history, but then there's the overarching story that goes on in the modern day that is constant through all of the Assassin's Creed games. And that allows you to continuously have a narrative that keeps people interested in what's going on, but have self-contained stories through history. So anyway, I'm excited. I'm definitely picking this up when it comes out. Now, the problem is we don't have a release date yet. It just says holiday 2020. That's their release date. So we'll see what happens whenever, we get a little bit closer. I'm sure they're going to announce. It's probably going to come out sometime in October. Usually Assassin's Creed games come out the week of October 26th. Because that's my wife's birthday. And I always make the joke that I'm going to buy her the new Assassin's Creed for her birthday. And she never thinks the joke is funny. So I'm assuming they're probably going to be a late October release for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Again, it just says holiday, so we'll see. This game is also announced for the PS4 and the PS5, the Xbox One, and the Xbox One Series X. So the new one, the new PS5 and Xbox. PC, they haven't announced it for the Switch yet, so we'll see what happens there. But this is a definite buy. This is a definite buy. So I'm excited. And in the number one spot, obviously, is Cyberpunk 2077. This game is by CD Projekt Red, who, as a studio, it's a weird story because they haven't really made a lot of video games. But they made one game that was so incredibly well done and critically acclaimed that by the strength of that one game, they're basically given as much leeway as they want. This is the studio that developed The Witcher 3, which is considered one of the best games of all time. I agree. I put it in that category as well. And the fact that they released all their DLC for free and made one of the most engaging stories in a video game. Some of the side quests in Witcher 3 have more storyline than most AAA release games have in their whole game. So the way they can pay attention to story details and tell a story that's engaging and lasts well over 100 hours basically meant that the next game they came out with was going to be something that everyone would be excited for. And so they announced this game, Cyberpunk 2077, a couple years ago, and people got genuinely excited about it. I did as well. And every little detail that came out just got me more and more excited. There's not been one detail they've released that's made me go, oh, maybe I don't know. Maybe I should be a little cautious. Everything that's come out about this game has been exciting. You play as, a custom character that you develop yourself. Be any gender you want. You can completely customize your character. Even being able to customize your genitals, which is the latest thing they came out with. I don't know what that means, but we'll find out. You play as your own character in this game, but you are a biohacker essentially. You add cybernetic enhancements to your body to give you different powers, like robotic arms or an ocular implant in your eye that lets you kind of like see details about the environment. And apparently this game branches so much in the storyline, like your individual actions completely change the way the game develops. It's like the biggest open world map that they've made, not in terms of size, but in terms of the amount of detail that's in the game. There's a lot of verticality because it's in a futuristic city. There's, cars, you can drive cars around. There's, awesome weapons. It's in first person, so it's a first person RPG, which in my opinion, first person really brings you more into the story and makes you feel more like you're the character you're playing as. So I really like RPGs in first person. So, I mean, what's not to love? What's not to love here? And why would you not be excited about this game? I mean, this is obviously a must buy. Like, this is the only game to really be like, how are you not excited already? I'm excited and I can't wait. So, plus, there's tons of gameplay footage out there and tons of lore already out there that you can kind of see to get you more hyped for the game. I've absorbed all of it, obviously, and I'm really, really, really excited for this game. So, anyway, and I didn't even mention this detail. Keanu Reeves plays a character in this game called Johnny Silverhand. And he is a digital ghost of a real person that used to live in that game world, but who now lives in a chip in your brain. So you're the only one who sees him, and he's guiding you through quests and stuff. What? How is that? Like, that's amazing. That's fantastic. So I'm pretty excited about that. So it's coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox One X. PC, and it's coming out September 17th. That's the release date now. So we'll see, we'll see how that game actually ends up. But again, I'm super excited. I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. All right. And that's it. That's my 12 games that I'm excited for. And I'm happy.